Hello, viewers. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Tiffany. Welcome to Legit KidLit, a YouTube series that features the silly side of KidLit authors and illustrators.
Today, we welcome middle grade authors Betsy Uhrig, Sheri Simpson, and Lee Edward Fodi.
Authors, please introduce yourself, your books, and tell us something silly that happened to you recently. Betsy, why don't you start?
Okay, my name is Betsy Uhrig. I live in Massachusetts. I've written two middle grade novels, both humor. The first one is called Welcome to Dweeb Club, and it's about a group of seventh graders who get a glimpse of themselves in the future via some weird technology and do not like what they see. The other is Double the Danger and Zero Zucchini, and it's about a boy who turns himself into a literary stunt double trying to help his aunt write a children's book of her own. So those are my books. I also work in publishing, so my life is books. In terms of something silly that happened to me recently, I'm cooped up in my home for the most part. So the silly thing that happened to me actually happened in my subconscious. I have been having those dreams where you're back in high school and you're not doing well and, just your usual anxiety dream. And so I had actually taught myself to say, this is just a dream. It's not really happening. You can get out of it. And then I'd wake myself up, which was awesome. But then my stupid subconscious went into the dream and it said, the last time it happened, my subconscious was like, this is way too detailed. You don't have this much of an imagination. It must be not a dream because look, and it pulled out like a tube of toothpaste or something, and it started reading the ingredients list. And it was like, you couldn't come up with these words. So obviously this is real. And that's pretty horrifying. And I know that your mind is immediately going to Nightmare on Elm Street. And you're exactly right.
Wow. No, no wonder you're a writer, though.
I want to go into your dreams.
Yeah. All right. Sheri, tell us about yourself and your books.
Hi, guys. I'm Sheri Simpson. I am a middle grade and chapter book author. This is my most recent book, Sam Saves the Night. It's a girl who struggles with sleepwalking, and when her mother is so concerned about her sleepwalking that she takes her to a rogue sleepwalking doctor, and he performs a treatment on her, and he separates her soul from her body. So her body stays sleeping in the bed, and her soul roams the night with all the other sleep wakers, which is what they call them. It's very fun. It sounds dramatic, but it's actually really funny because I mostly write humor. And I have a chapter book series coming out next year called the Sugar Rush Racers. It's a spinoff of the Little Racers in Wreck-It Ralph. It's a 2-book series. And I also, on the side, I write TV and movies. So I'm very busy. I guess my most well-known one is I wrote The Swap, which is on Disney Plus. And something silly that happened to me recently is, I'd like you to introduce you to, I know this is a little early, but she is part of the silly thing. This is Mila Kunis, my pug. And we had ordered a pizza, put it on the dining room table. And she's like a little gymnast. So we turned around for like a millisecond. We turned back and she was on the table in the pizza box with half of the pizza hanging out of her mouth. And are you going to ask us if we ate that pizza? Of course we did. Of course we did.
Oh my gosh. All right, Lee, it's your turn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Edward Fodi. I'm a middle grade author, and I've written a lot of books. My most recent one is Spell Sweeper. This is a book about a girl who goes to wizard school, but she's failing wizard school, and she's been, well, as far as she's concerned, railroaded into the spell sweeping department, which means she has been forced to learn how to clean up magical messes after the real wizards are done casting a spell. And she's quite bitter about that. And there's a lot of humor in this book, so I feel like we've got quite the theme of humor today. And she is on this quest to kind of get her way out of the spell sweeping program and turn herself into a real wizard. So it's a little bit of a slight satire on all of those other magical school books. The whole idea that in this world, magical brooms aren't for flying, but are for sweeping. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's a bit about the idea of failure and finding what your own personal magic is. And I don't have an exciting side gig like Sheri writing movies, but I am a specialized arts educator in Vancouver, Canada. So I spend a lot of my time crafting and building projects with kids and helping them write and publish their own stories. Oh, and you wanted to know something silly that happened to me. Wow. I live with a 3-year-old. My son is 3 coming on to 4, and I feel like every day is a silly day. So I live in Vancouver, Canada. We don't get a lot of snow, but recently we did have a lot of snow. We had a big dump, and so that meant we could go sledding. So we trekked down to the local park with our sleds. And my wife noticed that a lot of the neighborhood kids are sledding down this hill straight towards the playground, like the monkey bar station. And she thought, I'm going to go down that hill with our son Hero. And I said, don't go down that hill. You're going to, die. You're going to impale yourself upon all the monkey bars. And she said, everyone's doing it. And I'm like, this seems like the worst, excuse that every kid makes, right? Everyone's doing it. So I know that my wife is stubborn. So I stopped arguing. She got into the sled with her son. She went straight down the hill, nearly took out another kid, and then T-barred, or yeah, what do you call it? T-boned a monkey bar. And it was like watching it in slow-mo. I'm like, and then she was really mad afterwards because I didn't have any sympathy for her. And I was like, I don't know what you want from me. I did my job. Like I told you not to do that. Anyway, no one was hurt, just pride.
Oh, thank you for giving us some giggles. And these all sound like funny books. I love it. So now it's time for the really good stuff. Viewers are dying to know, what is your most embarrassing or memorable middle school moment? And we want embarrassing, but if you don't have it, if you were perfect in middle school, memorable.
No. I really have to search for an embarrassing moment in middle school.
I was thinking about this, and I was like, I don't know how to separate my embarrassing moments. Like the moments that are embarrassing for me in middle school are the same things that were embarrassing for me in university. Like there's no difference. Like yes. I'm not a person who learns well, I think.
So what's one that keeps recurring, Lee? What's one of the most embarrassing?
The one that I kept thinking about is, because it just kind of was brought back up. My best friend, who is still my best friend, we were in this gifted learning program for 3 years in elementary school. So we were in this kind of pilot program. And when we were in grade 7, we decided to make our own movie. So it was basically a fusion. So Sheri, I might be sending you a script.
Yes.
We made this fusion between Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Now we had a slight problem because we didn't own a camera, but I don't think we let that deter us. That was like a tomorrow problem. We were just going to craft this movie script. So I remember writing this movie very vividly, and in my imagination, it's the greatest piece of art ever created on the planet. But it was lost to the vagaries of time. It's gone until 2 months ago. My friend gave me a photocopy of it for Christmas. He found it, or his mom found it, or someone found it. So the embarrassing part that I'm absolutely mortified about is that I do have copies of books and things that I wrote when I was a kid, and I'm used to showing them to my students because I think it's a really good thing to show kids like, hey, I've been doing this a long time and I wasn't born with some magical ability. But if you look here, I'm trying to get into the screen. This is my friend's writing, and I just want you to see that it's a teacher's dream, right? It's nice and neatly written. It's double spaced. Here's our epic beginning. So I'm flipping through this at Christmas going, oh, okay, this looks great. And I'm like, wow, Mike is he's really good at writing. And then I get to the point where I get to my section And I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Like, it looks like I wrote this with my hands tied behind my back. And I was in grade 7. Like, if I'd seen this out of context, I would have thought I was in grade 3 or 4. And I was so mortified because this is the first time I've seen something in comparison to like a peer, right? So I'm actually still in contact with my elementary school teacher. So I actually emailed her and said, I am so sorry. Like, I don't know how you dealt with me. I did really well in school. Like, did I succeed because you just couldn't read anything I wrote? Like, you assumed that I had some kind of magical talent. So I don't know if this counts, but because it's mortifying now, but it's very much connected to middle school.
Oh, that's really funny.
I'm also really annoyed because the one good thing about having the different writing is my best friend rewrote the ending. You can see my original ending where it's very dark and the heroes, I think they save the planet, but they die at the edge of the volcano. And then there's a whole, you turn the page and then everyone comes back to life. And it's
in a different handwriting.
My ending was way better. Anyway, we'll figure out those creative differences down the road when we actually start filming.
That was good. So I can share mine. It was hard to come up with one, mostly because, as Lee said, my whole life is a series of embarrassing moments. I've always said that God gives me the most embarrassing things possible, so I have stuff to write about. But this one that sticks in my mind is it's so painful for me to think about even now. My kids I have teenagers now, and they will tell you that I'm known for being somewhat extra. And I've always sort of been that way. Like, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very, when I love someone, I want them to know and everything. So in 7th grade, I had this best friend, Susan, and I just loved Susan. She was a great friend. And one day I decided, she had art class in the class after mine, and she sat in the same seat. So I decided I was going to make her a piece of artwork. And I made this thing that said, "You are the sunshine of my life." And it had this like swirly thing in the middle that popped up when you, and I left it on the desk for her. And I saw her later, and she was like, you're too much. You're too much. You're too clingy. Oh, so horrifying. So in my mind, when I think of like my extraness, I think of that swirly thing that popped up in the middle, and you're too clingy. Now I kind of embrace my clinginess. And I'm like, you know what? That's just who I am. When I love people, I love them. And I'm going to make you bad artwork to show it. So
Sounds like you're very thoughtful.
well, that's
She didn't deserve you.
That's one way of spinning it.
All right. Well, my embarrassing story from 6th grade is sort of the opposite, because I was really a shy kid, very introverted, didn't want to draw any attention to herself at all. But in 6th grade, our teacher, she must have written a play based on a Pearl S. Buck story that we were going to put on. And she assigned the parts and everything. And my part was a grieving widow. So I was supposed to be kneeling over this boy in my class who was kind of cute and sobbing. And the lines I was supposed to say were, "Oh, my husband, oh, my man, I am left all alone," which is pretty much exactly how I read it in the actual performance. And the teacher just kept saying, "No, you're supposed to be really sad. You're supposed to be upset." And there was just no way that I was going to, sob and, beat my breast over poor Rob, who's lying there on the ground, hoping this will be over with soon. And the reason I remember those lines is because it was just so embarrassing. I knew I was being wooden, but there was no way I was going to emote at all saying those things over him. It wasn't going to happen.
Not in 6th grade. No.
No. I mean, what was she thinking?
No.
I think we can repair all these situations. We can redo that scene, Betsy.
Can we reenact it now?
That person. You should make her a redo.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do it right
No,
now.
I'll do it. No, I would do it exactly the same way now. Nothing has changed on that.
Oh, my man is the fate.
Yeah, I love that.
6th grade.
Oh,
my man.
Oh, my man.
I'm shuddering now.
Wow. How do I follow up with that one, Alexis? I don't know. What is something kid-friendly and currently in your Netflix queue? And anyone can start.
Kid-friendly.
That narrows it down.
Well, I do have a 3-year-old, so we, in terms of the kid channel, we've been watching a lot of, Kiki's Delivery Service, all the Japanese stuff, because my son's Japanese. So we've been watching, what's the other one? My Neighbor Totoro, all those great classic ones. We've been watching and rewatching a lot of those, particularly Kiki's Delivery Service. So those are some of the kid-friendly ones that we've been watching in my household.
Dare I say, I think this is really on the borderline, but we're sort of obsessed in my family with Cobra Kai. Obsessed. We kind of came to it late. We really just discovered it not so long ago. And when I say obsessed, I have 2 kids and my husband, 2 teenagers, and we are like screaming at the screen and like applauding, and oh my gosh, yeah. So that's why our guilty pleasure at the moment.
For kid-friendly, I'm going to say that, and I recommend Hilda, the animated series based on a graphic novel about a girl with blue hair living in Trollville. And, we don't even have kids at home, but if you need like a 20, 22-minute nugget of entertainment, I'm going to recommend it.
Very cool. I've not seen any of those, so I'm going to have to add those on. So do any of you have a hidden talent?
Well, mine is acting, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I have so few talents that the ones I have are definitely not hidden, because I have to make use of them. I'm the kid who, well, the adult now, that can't whistle, can't snap his fingers. I have a very small skill set. So I would say the only thing for me is part of my writing process is building stuff. So I've been trying to figure out, my new book's about brooms. So I've been building brooms and like that. But I don't know if that's a talent. I mean,
Yeah,
Definitely is.
I love it. What about you, Sheri? Do you have a talent? It doesn't have to be hidden.
It's obviously art.
Yes.
Are you talking about oh yes. Yes, the springy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess my hidden talent, and I guess it's not so hidden anymore, is I used to be an actor, so I did a lot of voiceover work, and I do dogs' voices. Like, this is like a known thing in my family and amongst my friends. I'll meet a dog and I'll spend some time with them, and then I will produce their voice from their body. And I guess if you pull my arm, I will do one for you. And I wanted
Please.
to do it for Mila, but she seems to have abandoned me. But her voice is, and she'll come back, but her voice is this.
How are you? I am a movie star. I want everyone to know it. And I am beautiful, and I'm not fat. I am zestig.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah.
I want to follow you around everywhere with a line of dogs and
Like in a
do
dog
this
park.
in
Yeah.
That's what
action.
I was just thinking. I would annoy you. I'm like, no, do that one. Do that one.
Yes, every time my
So-
sister's obsessed with dogs, and every time she gets a dog, she makes me come over and like spend time with the dog so I can do the new dog's voice. So
How long does it take for you to come up with the voice?
I usually have to spend a little time with them because I actually kind of it's sort of a treasure to me, right? I'm obviously very dog friendly, so I really want to know their personality, yeah. So my personal favorite is she had a 220-pound Mastiff named Buddha, and his voice was, I don't know, but I'm spitting and I'm farting and I love you. You know, so she would just make me do it all the time.
That's incredible.
That's
That's
awesome.
a great talent.
You shouldn't hide that one.
No.
So speaking of pets, if you have
Oh wait,
any
we
pets,
don't have. We need
We would
Betsy's
love to see.
talent.
Do you
Oh,
really?
hers
though?
was
Betsy, what's
hers was acting.
yes.
No, my actual hidden talent that very few people know about is based on my experience in high school as a Baskin-Robbins ice cream scooper. And if you worked at Baskin-Robbins during the time I did, you have this hidden talent too, which is you can peel and slice a banana into the dish for the banana royale without actually touching the banana itself. And I still do that.
Wow.
That's just the way I slice a banana. Hands off.
Wow.
It's something I could really monetize if I wanted to, but you know.
Yeah, that is good. That's handy.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Tiffany.
No, yeah, we would love to see your pets if you have any. So now is a great time to bring them out if you can.
Mine are completely hidden, but they left their stunt doubles, so I'll get those.
Okay.
These are their stand-ins, Max and Ruby. Max and Ruby are my two kitties, brother and sister, and yeah, they're nowhere to be found.
Oh, Max and Ruby. And here's Mila.
Mila snuffling and snorting. Hey, say hi.
Hi, I love you.
Okay. I'm a pug fanatic. That's the only thing I have is I've had a succession of pugs. So
I have
Really?
always wanted a pug. Always.
We're cat people are in our house, but yeah, our cat recently passed, so we haven't gotten a new one yet. But we do have plenty of dragons in our house because my son and I love making dragon eggs. So I don't know if that counts as a pet. A pre-pet maybe. They haven't hatched yet. Hopefully soon.
What do you make them out of?
Oh, I make my many things. It depends what the look I'm trying to achieve. This one's really simple. It's just made out of those kind of dollar store acrylic jewels and then glued onto a shell and then painted with various things. But I have made them with like, especially with my son, he's only 3, so he makes them. We get the sticker kind, and he just sticks the stickers on, and then he paints them. So it's quite safe. But I do them at schools and things too. We use low temperature hot glue guns, and you can kind of sculpt that glue onto there, and make different shapes and designs. So it depends what the kind of look and feel that we're trying to achieve.
Are there dragon eggs in Spell Sweeper?
There is a very particular egg in Spell Sweeper, and it's kind of funny because I've been making these for years, and I always write fantasy, and there's generally some sort of dragon or creature. But I think this is a case of my teaching kind of bleeding into my writing, because so much of Spell Sweeper is just basically activities I do with kids. And so, because I do this thing where it's like how to hatch a magical creature, and we build the creature and then we write the instructions, and that kind of ended up in Spell Sweeper. She finds an egg that she is supposed to destroy, but because she's a bit of a rebel, she decides that she doesn't want to destroy it, even though it's supposed to be a dangerous creature, and she keeps it and tries to hatch it. And yeah, there's so many different things like that that I do as activities that I always write these things and set them up for my students. And I think I ended up writing a book because of that.
I love it. All right, we're going to end our fun with a one's gotta go game. So I will show a series of images and you have to choose one that goes. And let's get this ready. Okay. So which one's gotta go?
Ooh. Oh, that's tough, man.
Do we all choose individually or together?
Yeah, individually.
Oh, well, I'll say one that's got to go. I'll say B.
I love all of these, so I guess the one I love the least is the pepperoni pizza. I love pizza, but pepperoni's not my favorite. But I would never give up the fruits and vegetables. That's like my thing. So
I'm going to say B too, because you would have to be able to unhinge your jaw to even get a bite out of that. So that's what's happening.
My students always pick on me because they know I hate eggs, but I'm like, why don't you kind of turn it around? Because there's not a fruit or vegetable on planet Earth that I don't love. So let's play that game. But they don't want to play that game.
No.
yes, yes.
All right. What about this one?
Oh.
I'm going to say D.
I'm going to say B. I'm not a big chip person, and I love candy. So
Yeah,
my family will
same.
attest to that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with D too. Candy corn is just not even a candy.
Yeah, I mean, I would pick out those gummy worms, but you know,
Yeah.
Not the candy corn.
Now we're talking effort.
No, candy corn is wax.
Might have some strong feelings here. I love candy corn.
Oh, this one's easy. A.
Oh man. Oh, that's tough.
I'll take heat anytime.
B for me. B for me. I'm not a sand person. I don't like sand in my shoes or cracks, as we will.
Yeah.
I'm going to say A because it looks like work, and B just is lying down. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not watching that sand. I'm laying there.
Yeah.
With a fruity drink.
Last one.
Oh man.
So is it cherry or strawberry on the right?
So I think A is cherry and B is strawberry.
B.
A.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, I'm not a cherry fan. Oh, how fun. Thank you. It was fun.
When I was a kid, I used to deconstruct Starburst because there was a little line and you could actually snap them in half. And then I would put them together in flavor combinations.
Wow.
So, I'm going to recommend like lemon and cherry together or orange and lemon together. Those are really
How many hidden talents do you have?
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one.
Well, Betsy, Lee, and Sheri, we have had so much fun with you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. But before you go, can you tell us, are you doing any author visits? And if you are, how can teachers and librarians get a hold of you?
I will certainly do author visits, and I can be contacted through my website, which is my name, betsyuhrig.com.
I've been doing a lot of school visits. LeeFodi.com is the place to find me. And yeah, yesterday I did school visits and creative workshops all across everywhere. I went to Korea and China and you name it. I was all over the place. So love working with kids, and you can find me at leefodi.com.
Love it.
Yes, I love author visits. Actually, it's one of my favorite things about being an author. And I usually cannot bring Mila Kunis with me. Very sad about that, but I do bring my big stuffed pug with me because that's my part of my my signature thing. There's a pug in every single thing that I write, even if they have like a 2-second cameo. So yes, it will be me and my giant pug. So
Awesome.
and you can find me at
Giant pug have a voice?
SheriSimpson.com.
Yeah, I want to know that too. Does the giant pug have a voice?
The giant pug actually is the facsimile of the pug, which is a main character in Sam Saves the Night, and the pug definitely has a voice in the book. But I try to give voices only to live pugs and animals. I'm a very discerning voice artist.
And links and their websites are all in the description below, so you can contact them for author visits. To all our readers, we hope you enjoyed our show and are inspired to pick up some new and amazing books. We'll be back next Sunday with a new author and special guest and plenty of crazy fun. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Tiffany. If you liked our show, please like and subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. So much fun.